The biggest challenge of gardening in a small space is the lack of room to plant and place potted plants. Today I'm going to show you how we used the vertical spaces to add room by building custom trellises from cedar. Here you can see how we attach pot hangers as well as screws and place our hanging plants by hooking them around the slats. These trellises also make it super easy to move the plants inside during the cold season. They can be used to easily add and move screws, plant hooks, and hold hanging plants so you don't damage the walls on your house. It's easy to move plants to different lighting and humidity environments, and here they help soften the look of the stucco columns. We have over 50 orchids, herbs, and flowers that we're constantly rotating between our courtyard and around the trees outside. So when designing these, versatility and ease of use was just as important as the aesthetics of the trellises. Today we're going to be cutting our slats on this table saw. We're using 2x8 rough sawn cedar. We're going to be cutting it down to 7/8 of an inch wide strips from this board here, and these will be 1.5 inches wide. Before I ran these boards through the table saw, I cut them all at 5 feet long. That way all the pieces will be the correct length after they're ripped down. It is going to take 3.5 of these 5-foot 2x8 boards to make the 2 trellises. The next step is to cut 24-inch wide pieces that will be used to attach the 5-foot sections together and attach the trellises to the wall. After I make and cut my first piece, I use it to measure out the rest of the pieces. I flush up the ends and make a pencil line wherever I need to cut. Doing this saves time and mistakes by not having to remeasure every piece. We've got all of our boards laid out for the first panel. Now we can go ahead and assemble these using 1.25 inch all-weather screws and a screw gun, but I'm going to go ahead and opt for a staple gun just because I have it. Now there's nothing wrong at all with using this method here with the screws and the screw gun. It's just that it takes a little bit longer, and I just want to save some time here. So I've got all my cross pieces cut. I'm going to be putting them together from the back side and screwing down through them. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying everything out and get to it. That's together. So I'm putting 2 staples in each corner. One more up here. Okay. So we've got our main box to start with. Okay. The next piece I'm going to put in is the center one. So I measure to the center at both ends and go ahead and staple it in. Next we're going to find the center so we can go ahead and nail down this next board. And we're going to staple that in place, go down to the other end, and do the same thing. Then we're going to center these other boards. We're just going to do it visually and go ahead and nail those in place. So now that we've got this side done, we're just going to repeat the same thing for the other side. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is check for square. And this is off just a little bit, so I want to go ahead and rack this. Now it's in square. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the center, top to bottom. I'm going to mark it here on this side and come around and do it on the other side. And then we'll go ahead and install the centerpiece. Okay, so once this is nailed down into place, we're also going to find the center between this board and the end. I'm going to mark it on this side. Then we're going to do it again on this side. Then we can go ahead and place our last two pieces in the center. Once we get these nailed into place, we can go ahead and just nail everything together all at once. Okay, so we're all finished. So we'll flip this over, and as you can see, there's no screws or any kind of staples showing through the front. It's nice and clean. So we're all done, and we just have one more to build. So today, we're going to be installing the new trellises. I'm using Tapcon screws to anchor the trellises to the concrete walls. Only 6 2 1/4 inch screws will be needed for each trellis. If you're building a larger trellis, it's going to require more screws. A 5/32 inch masonry bit can be purchased separately if you don't already have one. The first hole I'm drilling is to attach the trellis to the wall so I can mark the other holes to be drilled. I'm using a hammer drill here to drill the holes, but it's 9 a.m. Sunday morning, so I'm not using the hammer function. It'll get the job done, it'll just take a little bit longer. Next I drilled the rest of the holes, and now I can put in the remaining screws. So we're all finished. See how great this looks now? I'm Steve Blackwood. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please hit the like button so it can be shared with others. And don't forget to subscribe to see more on other projects and fixes around your house.